Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Tokyo for today's daily challenge, where we will begin with 5 motories. We will begin with 5 motorways, and that's all we get. And some colors, though not the light blues apparently, will always be circles. Hulkamat was here first. Good morning, Hulkamat. Oh, goodness. It is Monday. It is a scant 3 days before Christmas. Hold on. Lens wipe wrapper thing needs to go away. It's a popular children's television program, right? What holds in the thingy that cleans your glasses? Lens wipe wrapper thing. I seem to remember watching that when I was a kid, but, you know, we're all old. Our memories are failing us. All right, let's take these 3 pinks, come over to here. Good Lord, Lens Wipe, you have an impressive stank about you. All right, let's see here. Hulkamat says that his work is just today and tomorrow. He's forcing himself to go in today, even though you very much do not want to. This is the problem with everything, really. But yeah, it is fun. And by fun, I mean, oh, good. I, semi-fortunately, work in a field that is dominated by the whims and needs of lawyers and their clients and the people they're suing. And would you believe it, that lawyers and their clients and the people they're suing generally don't want to do shit on or near a holiday. So, while it is not a formal declaration of no work or nothing, I sort of don't expect to have any work this week. Which doesn't mean I don't have stuff to do, because I have laundry to do, and I've got paperwork to file, and a meowing cat at me who didn't finish her food yesterday and refuses to acknowledge that there's food in her dish that she could be eating. Cat. Nora. Meow. I hear you, meow. You're presently meowing. She's a kitty. All right, yep. It was a well comedically timed meow. Good job, Nora. All right, let's pave this island here, shall we? To hell with mid-river island roads. We're not doing any of that nonsense. This up here is already somewhat sufficiently nonsense, but you know, the blues and the pinks are just going to have to be friends. They're pretty tight as it is. Okay, hi. Hello. So, I mentioned the holiday. It is, after all, Christmas this coming Thursday. And, well, first of all, we got pinks over here. Not pinks, purples. Purples over here, what need dealing with. So we'll take that. We'll draw, I think, this ridiculous thing here. And we'll extend that like so. And then we'll immediately cover up those purple houses by talking about our stream schedule for the week. The plan is that it will be business as usual through Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday evening, we'll do ourselves a very special unscheduled, well, rescheduled Hades 2 stream. We'll play Hades 2 Wednesday night, and then there won't be any streams Thursday or Friday, because I'm busy and doing stuff. Let's take a roundabout. I think we're going to be fine with a roundabout. I didn't mean to unanchor the thing from the thing. As it is Tokyo, you may realize that, as always, we have a bunch of beiges up here and a beige plaza over this way. Today we're going to connect them via motorway, because the alternative is Big Long Stupid Road, and honestly, I could do Big Long Stupid Road. Come to think of it, Big Long Stupid Road is probably the better answer. So, to hell with motorway. Hi, Nora. You have been... I hesitate to even say the word nuzzling, because that implies affection versus attention getting. You have been bashing your skull into my calf. Also, now there's a yellow on this... Nora, there's a yellow house on this island. I blame the cat. I blame the cat for the fact that there is a yellow house on this island, even though I was trying to pave it, because I got distracted by you bashing your skull into my calf. Hi. Do you have a tiny ball you want me to throw? No. No, you don't. There's no tiny ball here. Is it under the chair? Did I? Ow! I conked my head on the mic arm. There's no tiny ball here. Cat? God. The things to which this animal subjects me. Alright, so we got another beige going over here. We got this yellow circle. Good God. You know, if I point this yellow down this way, there will be no other house spawning on this island. Which is probably for the best. What? What? You're not even meowing into the microphone. People might not be able to hear you. They might think I'm insane. God. I know, Hulkamat. Wait until the good folk of Twitch hear about the things this animal does. Hello. Oh, now you're licking the floor. You're licking the floor because there might be crumbs there. Get. No, don't walk through my cable. We're going to take these two dark blues and we're going to draw that. And we've also got, well, I think I was maybe going to do something different, but let's do something stupid here. These pinks can, no, do this in order to do that. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these pinks can take this 6 of these pinks, can take this big long stupid road here, and wind up supporting this pink circle from the southern entrance of this plaza. And oh hi. Oh, you have rounded. Oh, that's awful. Also, you've rounded up here. That's also bad. I don't remember anyone supporting either of those. Alright, well, this blue house at least can come up here and service that. And I was gonna do something here with like a roundabout or a traffic light or something. I don't know, man. These two blue houses are kind of holding down the fort as regards this blue circle. And these 3 blue houses are kind of struggling as regards this blue circle. So, yeah, there might be problems afoot. I could take a motorway. I could, like, peel these pinks all to right here and just motorway, voop and voop. Doesn't seem like the worst idea in the world, but it also doesn't seem like a great idea, you know? Alright, let's take some light blues, send them on a magical mystery tour, going up this way. So something I've noticed, and here's the thing that I've noticed. There are folks, a good number of folks, who watch Gimmimimim, and for whatever reason, be it that they've never been interested in anything else I've ever played on the channel, or they don't know it exists, don't watch anything else. Like, I see very consistently that folks on YouTube are... This is all relative, because it's not like the _Goog is an enormous creator of videos for any game or platform or anything at any time ever. But it is also true that the YouTube audience for Good Morning Mini Motorways is rather significantly larger than the YouTube audience for anything else I do. Aside from, like, the occasional, like, I think my first Overwatch video got a fair whack of views. But generally speaking. So this, let's draw motorway number 2, first of all, and then I don't know the best way to deal with this. The best way to deal with this is probably... Well, the easiest way to deal with this is to draw a motorway from this house down to here and kind of hope that stuff grows. I don't know. Let's have a think about it. I am not at all certain what the best path forward is for this purple business. Oh, hi, beigeness. This beigeness is easy to deal with, at least. You're cute and personable. All right, let's take... I'm going to take a roundabout. I've got 3 bridges and 3 spare motorways. Having a second round... Am I really going to need a second roundabout? I'm probably not going to need either bridge or roundabout. But, you know, I do have a whole bunch of purples down here. Presently doing nothing. Can't support this business. So, might as well do that. Okay, so that's good. And we'll draw this beige here. And... we'll say everybody go. So the following is what we're going to call a public service announcement that is also a shameless plug. If you were watching this on YouTube and you did not know that I, your dear friend the _Goog, produce videos about other games, now you do. Specifically, this week on YouTube, we have Dragon Age: the Veilguard, a good fun BioWare RPG type thing. We have Hades 2. We have Cyberpunk 2077. You go back in the backlog catalog type thing. There's Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We've played on the channel. Baldur's Gate 3. We've done a full and complete playthrough of that on the channel. A great many other games. Phoenix Wright games. Mario. Did I put Mario? I think Mario was like the first series I did where I started doing stuff, putting it exclusively on, not exclusively, but specifically on YouTube. Stuff is there, and it is of roughly equivalent quality to this. I was about to say good, and then I was like, wait a second, hold on. No, that smacks of self-esteem. Let's dial that back a little bit. So, you know, it's there, and it's roughly as good as this. There. That's a somewhat more accurate self-deprecating statement. We'll draw motorway number 3 over to here in order to shunt these, now 4, down the longish way over to this business. Make these motorways a little bit more efficient than they otherwise could have been. Incidentally, if you hear the low droning hum of a heater in the background, it's because it's cold. It's New England. It's winter. Ow. 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 The Powerball numbers keep annoyingly refusing to match the ones on my tickets, so one of these days that's going to change. For somebody. The effing Powerball is up to like, I think it's like 1.6 billion for the fake number jackpot type thing. I think the fake number jackpot, the fake number jackpot type thing is $1.6 billion. And if you were to win and say, F this annuity thing, I just want cash now, you would get $753 million. Before tax. So, you know, you would wind up with a cool $17. But listen, as $17 could go very far. Look at me making jokes about taxes. I'm a regular Republican. God. Even the concept of that being true has sufficiently nauseated me. All right, let's rearrange some beiges. We'll have, honestly, this is a square. I'm just going to satisfy that with 3 right now. I don't really need 30. I don't really need the extra 10 road tiles. We've got a good base, so I'm just going to take a 5th bridge. That, to be honest, we'll probably wind up never using, but, you know, stuff could happen. Speaking of bridges, I could theoretically replace motorway number 1 with a bridge, but when I say a bridge, I really mean 3 bridges, because we would need to bridge from here to here, from here to here. Oh. And then from here to eternity. Dagnabbit. Alright, let's shorten motorway number 1. These being on the exact same road or parallel here means that once this car here gets back out on the road and goes up over that away, there goes that old motorway. Yeah, we're just going to do this. We're just going to do that. That's going to be fine. Would have preferred that not to be dark blue, but it'll be okay. This station is over here. Heard me say that I was not going to give it more dudes until it rounded itself, so it rounded itself. So, all right, fine. Have a fourth dude. Fucker. But we still have 4 beiges right up here to serve this business. That should be fine. These light blues right here, incidentally, give me a second roundabout. I'm sitting on I was going to say 5, but it's actually 4 traffic lights, so that's basically fine. These 4 light blues here, I think, are sufficient to sustain this business, at least for the moment. I'll pull these away, indicate that I don't have anything at present to do with them, and, jeez. I just looked vaguely in the direction of this nonsense, and this is still pretty nonsensy what's going on down here. All right. I'm going to do a thing that I said I could do earlier in the hopes that by actually doing it, I make everybody's life easier. We're going to draw motorway number 4. These 4 pink houses are still going to serve this business, but now they're going to do it via simple straight shot motorway and not while encumbering these light blue bastards. In turn, the aforementioned light blue sturds are going to have a little bit more clear access to this business and hopefully wind up not fucking everything up. Okay. So that's, at the very least, a good hope. They make capes after that, you know. Alright. Let's see here. You come over to here. Oh, hey. Now we have a light bluesness. Okay. That is a little bit unfortunate, but... Well, first of all, this purple business got mad about stuff, which I don't remember endorsing, but okay. Let's toss. I think the answer is we toss a roundabout right here. We have these purples enter it and then go out this way. And I don't know about that. Maybe they go out this way. Yeah. So these purples come in here. I didn't want to just have a roundabout where these roads fully meet because that would be a lot of traffic for that roundabout. But now we have 3 more houses that can theoretically support this dying business right here. And this beigeness over here is basically fine. This pink looks a little bit mad, but honestly, I think the reason for that is just jealousy. And we don't need to worry about any green-eyed monsters over here. Because this pink business is ultimately supported by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses. And you can see there are cars and driveways here. So this is just a function of the fact that this is a long road. So when a pip spawns, it takes a while for the car that has come out to service it to actually get there. But it's basically fine. Okay. This light bluesness over here will be serviced in this manner. Let's take these. What's this, 5? I think this might be 5 light blues. And we're just going to do this. We're just going to staple them to the end of this purple road. And that's going to create a little bit of an issue here. I could make that a little bit better by turning it into a PCTL, actually. If I threw a perfectly cromulent traffic light right about there, that should increase the speed of flowing. Yeah, you see that? That's nice and good. I can't do one here because blue cars coming out of here are going to be turning left, so that light will be more of an issue. Speaking of issues, hi. We've got pink nonsense over here, and I think the pink nonsense over here is calling for think the pink nonsense over here is calling for a reevaluation of the pink nonsense over here, actually. Because if we chop these pinks up right here, and we run this pink road here, that does kind of overfuck. It doesn't really overfuck this business. It just makes it a little bit more dicey. But you can afford a little bit of diciness in your life, can't you? You know, we can play craps once a week. That's a good way to go broke, but, you know. Boy. It's also annoying that we can't really fit a roundabout on this yellow road. What I wanted to do was center a roundabout right here, but because of the presence of the pink circle, you can't do that. You need essentially a 3x3 square, or more specifically, you need a plus sign. You need a plus sign, an unencumbered plus sign, I think. Yeah, because like I can center a roundabout right here, even though the bottom left corner is touching a business. So you basically need a little unencumbered plus sign into which you can stick your thing. And we can't do that here because of these houses. So, probably not using a roundabout there. I could... Alright, here's what I can do. We can run... We'll take these 6 pinks here. We'll sneak through like that. And then that'll have a horrible hairpin turn going into this pink business. Okay. This blue points up here, supports this circle. These blues here appear to be doing fine, upstanding work supporting these 2 businesses, so that's going to be okay. We've added these purples to support this purple. That appears to be having the intended effect. I'm going to add another purple onto this purple road. You should point that way, actually. Be a little bit more efficiently directed. I could, if I wanted to, add another pink to this road to service this business, but I think for the most part it's presently fine. Let's take another roundabout I'll probably never use, and do some minor chopping. I think some very minor chopping is going to happen in order to support this purple business. We've got these 1, 2, 3, 4 purples right here, and you can see there's like a whole host of purple nonsense going down this way, so this business is fine. I'm going to draw a rather lengthy angled thingamajookie up so. Bulldoze that tree. Sorry about that tree. And then these purples here will go in that way. Okay. This road is still continuous going here, so I'm actually going to add these purples to it. I'm going to draw it that way so we block a spawn in this square. A spawn in that square might have been annoying. Got a couple more pinks over here. That's good. That'll support this pink circle. This pink circle appears to be happy with its newly extant pink neighborhood formation type deal. Beige spawned up here when I wasn't looking. That's fine. Yeah, this square beigeness is totally cool. This yellow circle is doing surprisingly well, considering that it has 2 and exactly 2 houses supporting it. Should probably be a little more supportive of that. Actually, you know what? I can be a little bit more supportive of that. So let's... I'm going to put a roundabout right here. We're going to create a southeastern spur. Wait, no. Hold on. That's not where I wanted the roundabout. I want the roundabout here because fairly obvious reasons. We're going to put an off-ramp here. Off-ramp here? No. Off-ramp here. I'm going to move motorway number 2. So all of these yellows here are now... going to grab a few more of them even. Grab a few more of them even. Everybody remembers that chest-bearing witch in Dragon Age. More of them. No? Okay. Well. Sad. Alright. Let's see here. So, we got a southeastern spur of this new roundabout. The southern spur is going to come this way, do this, support that business. And the northwestern spur is going to go up that way, support that business. So basically what's going to happen here is this enormous clump of yellows will continue being primary support for this yellow, but will also latch itself on and be secondary support for this yellow down here. And that's just longish term future proofing, honestly. All right. Yeah, you go over there. Here comes an enormous influx of saffron fellas. Okay. And these 4 beiges here are just going to come in that way. Service this. Actually, I'm going to peel at least one more off of that. Do I want to peel one more? I could peel one more. We can peel one more. Yeah, we just had one spawn, so. You come in that way. You come in here. Actually, these beiges, hold on. If they go into the northeastern spur, that frees up the northern spur. And this little beige house, what's been doing nothing the entire game, is now going to come in here and do stuff. Okay. So this might be a rat-like, but it's entirely possible that I'm just good at video game. I might be good at the video game. You can't say for certain that I'm not good at the... Well, it depends on your point of view, your perspective. If you are Samurai Sam, I am not good at the video game. But, you know, if you are Samurai Sam, I am also the reason you know the video game exists. So, shut up, Sam. Why am I reading to Sam? Sam's nice. We played Magic at Sam's house this weekend. Gave me cards. I kicked his ass with my brand new deck. It was fun. Oh. Okay. So you remember when I built a rat-like and I decided that I insisted that it definitely wouldn't murder kill everything? Yeah, about that. It appears to be ever so slightly murdering and killing everything. Okay, I have an idea. I think part of the problem is that all of the traffic to this circle has to go through the roundabout. What if that wasn't the case? What if we take motorway number 5, draw it over here, and kill motorway number 2? So that now all of the yellows can voop. All of the yellows can voop. Yes, all of the yellows can point themselves over here, and the ones who are going this way just kind of stay this way. Like, the ones who are going into this business can just go into that business, and they don't have to deal with the roundabout at all. Only the ones that are actually going over here have to deal with the roundabout. That's probably a decent idea, but it's also probably too late for that idea to mean anything. Also, I can't help but notice that all of these light blues are angry, so we're getting into problem times pretty much no matter what. Here's another pink for you. Let's draw... Oof. I'm gonna come here and toss another circle in a thisly fashion. And that's a PCTL. That gets a few more light blues to support this dying circle. As to our other dying circle, wonderful question. I don't know what we're doing about it, honestly. Let's see here. So, motorway number 5 is now extant and in place and all that good stuff. We don't really have any promising leads for her. This beige circle has also gotten mad because, of course, it has. Why wouldn't it? This blue circle up here is getting angry. Let's take a bridge. Actually, by putting the roundabout here, I connected these blue houses to both of those circles, which I don't even know if that counts as good or not. Oh, I think this beige circle is going to die because of the roundabout I built. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Well, I mean, listen, friends. This is 3,894 commuters. That feels like a decent score. It feels like a decent score. Maybe not necessarily a very good. It's top 10%. That's something. And hey! All right. Go ahead and drop those GGs in the chat. Celebrate the glorious triumph and victory of me. That's me, the underscore Goog. I am the one who wins against Sam on this day. And now we bring in, ow, itchy, scratchy, top of my lip hurts. Ow. All right. Let's do a Wordle, shall we? The Wordle today is shank. It is not, but it could have been. And now we know that it's not. Can't be hinky on account of no K. It can't be think because, well, there are a great many reasons why not, actually. It could be ganath. No, it can't be ganath. That's not a word, and there's no A in it. All right. It could be quoth. No, it can't be. There's no N in that. Come on, Goog. Be smarter. Dang it. Any day now. It could be honey. Could absolutely be honey. It's not, but it could have been. All right. So we got the O and the N in place. And now, could it be month? Could totally be month. There's no reason it's not month, aside from our recently discovered knowledge that it's not month, but, you know, we needed to discover things. So, that N blank H is a little bit weird. Because there's no S, there's no T. And I'm looking at the remaining vowels and being like, huh? Maybe it's aunch? Maybe it's conch? SpongeBob SquarePants? I made a SpongeBob joke at the beginning of the episode, and now the Wordle is the magic conch? The Wordle is the magic conch. Cool. All right. Honestly, given the seasonality of myrrh, I feel like more people are going to miss conch than missed myrrh. But people were apparently very mad at myrrh, so what do I know? All right. Let's jump into connections, shall we? We have exactly one definite acronym here, and initialism here. CYA, cover your ass. But it could be cover your ass, personal identification number, and then like wit is something and brow is okay. So let's just keep that in mind for a moment. But I do see greeting, playing, business, and membership. These are all cards. And I don't see anything else that could be a card. So, yep, those are all cards. Okay. Future, later, following, and coming is all stuff that is happening after this moment in time. Yep, subsequent. There you go. And now, Wave, rush, and surge are all things water related, right? I think rash is too. Right? Wave, rush, rash, and surge. These are all... yeah, they're all, like, water-related dealies. Influxes. Okay. Okay. They're all things water does, because water has influxes regularly. So... this is either initialisms, and I just don't know what Wit and Brow stand for, or... I don't know, they're words with letters stapled to them because connections. Colors minus the last letter. Brown, cyan, pink, and white. That sure was a game of connections, wasn't it? Connections is like... I don't know, man. It's a good idea, but given to the writers of the New York Times games, it always turns into clusterfuckery. All right, let's play some Time Guesser. This says Burundi. Okay, so we know the country we're in. We're in Burundi. We're gonna have a problem shortly, but let's see if we can identify. Do we have any telltale signs of times and such? I think this looks like an... I'm trying to look at the camera there to see if... is that just one lens, or is that part of the little carve-out square of lenses of the past couple of years? This does seem like, it's a very high-quality, well, modern-looking photograph. Okay, so this is Burundi in, like, 2022, maybe? Or 2025. It could be, there could be gun dudes holding people back at a stop sign in Burundi yesterday. Seems like there might have been gun dudes holding people back at a stop sign in Burundi yesterday. All right, so I will now draw a circle which contains Burundi. I think. If I had to narrow it down any more than that, it would be sub-Saharan Africa. But let's just have us a look-see, shall we? There's Mauritania and Mali and Niger and Chad and Sudan and Eritrea and Djibouti and Somalia and Ethiopia and South Sudan and Kenya and Tanzania and the Central African Republic and Gabon and Congo and Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea and Nigeria and Benin and Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire and Liberia and Guinea and Senegal and Mauritania, and we still haven't found Burundi. There's Togo. I found Togo. There's Gabon and the Congo again. There's the DRC, and there's Burundi. Cool. All right. Doesn't help us much because I'm not a person who knows cities in Burundi. I'll cop to that. Let's just stick a pin in Bujumbura, which is the biggest dot on the map of Burundi, therefore making it more likely than not where all the people are. We are in Bujumbura, Burundi in 2023. It was okay. These are Congolese citizens displaced by renewed violence in the DRC, fleeing. Oh. Well, that seems bad. That doesn't seem like a good time. Also, it was, in fact, earlier this year. So, the more you know. Next. Hi there. Thing that at a glance looks like New York, and by New York, I, of course, mean Manhattan. What do we have here? We've got a chop suey restaurant. We've got an American savings bank. This should probably help. Maybe. Does that say Ponce de Leon and Emery Bridge? Okay. If you have things named after Ponce de Leon, it could be Florida, but it's also raining in this photograph, and everyone knows it never rains in Florida. It never rains in Florida. Title of the episode, by the way. Okay. What are we doing about the rest of this? Bernardism, Minor and Erner. This is Ellis Street, and I can't read can't make out what that says above it, which is bad because that's probably the city we're in. Can I get a state off of the license plate on any of the... No. That's the Atlanta Cigar Company. Are we in Atlanta? Maybe. Guess you could have some... yeah, okay. Could this be Atlanta, Georgia, 1951? I don't know, man. I don't know how to put this delicately. Well, hi, Sam. Could black folks just walk the streets of Atlanta and not get the shit beaten out of them by the cops in any time, let alone 1951? I don't know, man. Feels not great. Can't take a left turn there. Well, that tracks with Atlanta. Not being able to turn left. Oh, boy. Yeah, I can't make out any kind of location-based signage. It is predominantly black. That's true. Oh, boy. Particularly like Atlanta proper. You get into, the suburbs and such, and well, they're suburbs and such. Fuck. All right. I don't know, man. The fact that there's a streetcar here, this isn't the Flatiron Building. It kind of looks like it, but it isn't. Which means this isn't New York. And by New York, I mean this isn't Manhattan. And the only real hint I've got is something named after Ponce de Leon and the Atlanta Cigar Company. Man, I do not feel good about this, but we're going to say we are in Atlanta, Georgia in 1952. Don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this at all. It was Atlanta, Georgia, 1939. Okay, good job, Goog. Locationally, at least. The timing could have been better. Next. All right, we got Nankins. They're having an Xmas sale. That's nice. This is Commissioner Street. Up here, we've got Delukigi Cruise fees. Okay. And you can get your Nankins Cruise fees with Leitverkoping, which, I'm sorry. I understand that this is just another language. That looks like fucking AI generated text. I'm sorry. That doesn't appear to be words. But this is the Olympia Health Institute. And I know that because it says institute and I can read that. So what the hell? What do you say? Sign? All right, so you're Boostreads, nice. You're Rory Bridges & Co. Limited, and you want your type justified. And they printed that on the banner on the side of the building because they print everything you put in the field. Okay, I understand that. What about this one? This is Bean Formaling Land of a Flaw. Okay. So when Lima and Pinto want to go to a fancy dance, they reach out to Bean Formaling Land of a Flaw. Got it. Doesn't help as much as you'd think it would. This is a Radiolek. Nice. They had a great many hits back in their time. Radiolek. Now all the older emo kids are like, I'm not old, they say, listening to old people radio, such as Radiolek. Oh, good. Where the fuck are we? That's a good question. I don't know. We got some Leutverkopen, and we've got Radio Lex and Boostrids. This feels like sort of half Scandinavian, and if it feels sort of half Scandinavian, it could be Dutch. It feels not even half Scandinavian. At a blink, this does look very American, with the wide streets and the plenty of cars and the nonsense. But you know, I don't think anyone in America can sell you some Leutverkopen. So, fuck. All right, fine. Let's feel bad about another guess. We are in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. This is not Amsterdam, Goog. Come on. Try again. We are in... Could it be Germany? No. We are in... there aren't enough diacritical marks on the letters for me to say that it's straight up Scandinavia. Oh, it's probably not straight up Scandinavia. Fuck, man. We are in Hamburg, Germany. In 19... Okay, there's a very good reason not to say 44. I was about to say 1944. This is not Germany in 1944. Fuck. We are in... There are no mountains. We're in Prague in 1947. God damn it. They're dead. Okay. 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 I think we just learned what Afrikaans looks like. This must be Afrikaans. Okay. Okay. Listen, if you're a person who recognizes languages, you probably identified the Afrikaans in the signage here, and then it was like, oh, okay. And once you know that this is Afrikaans, the rest of it just comes together. Because, you know, where else would they speak English and Afrikaans and have white folk and black folk in the same basic place and time in just a snapshot or whatever? South Africa. That does make sense. Fine. All right, fine. Next. Raymond Ittner has a store for us. Thanks, Ray. It's right next to Photo City. And you got your LBO Strumpf. This shit right here. These little dots. These are Scandinavia dots. So we got umlauts and crap. That's how you know you're in Scandinavia, god damn it. They get umlauts and crap. Did you know that Scandinavian is the only family of languages that contains umlauts? That's a true fact. That's not actually true. Don't use that to indicate anything, because this could very well be German. This is Nordstern Vertischergen, which is nice. You've got a carousel snack bar. And, this guy's gonna kill Matthias? Don't do that. I'm sure he's a fine, upstanding fellow. Maybe. Alright. This Spar Beef Promiensparen. He also, incidentally, lives in a pineapple under the sea. So. God. Is this actually Germany? Hold on. That could be, we could be near Mittwoch. Man, for all of the signs, you'd think I'd have a better idea of where the fuck we are. Rosner, you can get a martini. It's good to know. I could go for a martini. Now, granted, it is 7:49 in the morning, and I've never actually had a martini, but I'm sure it'll be tasty. All right. Hell. We are in Zurich, Switzerland in 1966. Where'd you go, Switzerland? There you are. We are in Zurich, Switzerland in 1966. It's Vienna, Austria in 1975. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. You just moved it. That's all. Circulation et stationnement entre des événements du 1990. Oh, I think we have a win of this. All right. So, Paris, France, 1992. Wait. Those are not French flags. French flags would be if you took those and herked them on the side. Which, hold on. Now I have to remember there's a scene. Shit. There's a scene in the Nicolas Cage. Oh, those are Luxembourg flags. Okay. Well, we're in Luxembourg then. I was going to say that there's a scene in the Nicolas Cage movie, King of War or Man of War or something. There's a movie where Nicolas Cage plays an arms dealer. And in that movie, there's a scene where Nicolas Cage and his buddies are on a boat loaded to the gills with illegally smuggled weapons. And they're being Lord of War. There you go. And they're being trailed by the detective antagonist guy who's trying to catch them in the art of smuggling weapons. And in order to fool these people, Nicolas Cage hurriedly calls his buddy and is like, hey, we need a boat that we could feasibly pretend to be at this part of the world at this time with a tiny name because we got to paint it fast. So they find out that a boat that they could feasibly be is the Kono, which is registered in France, I think. I think it's registered in France. And my point is, there's a scene where they say, hey, go hang a French flag because we're supposed to be flying French colors because we're the Kono, totally. Also, you get over the side of the boat and paint Kono on the side of this boat. And one of the guys doesn't have a French flag, but he has a Dutch flag, which he then turns on its side and turns into a French flag. My point is that I was trying to remember if this was the same flag from that scene in the Nicolas Cage movie Lord of War, which I only know because I've seen it on TikTok and YouTube shorts roughly 1,000 times. By which I mean like probably a couple dozen, but still. Turns out it's not, and it turns out this is Luxembourg, and I only know that because Peter S. is here, and thank you, Peter S. I will now draw a circle which encompasses Luxembourg. I don't know. It's around here somewhere. It's one of these in this vague area. It might be like this. This right here, I think, might be. Yep. Hi there. So we're in Luxembourg, which is in Europe. We're in Luxembourg in 1992. We know that because I saw it on a sign. What? But the sign! Is it? Okay. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Red Sox and Twins and Pirates and Guardians and Phillies and dudes what played the outfield. A guy who played the outfield for the Boston Red Sox is Darren Bragg. Rest in peace, the Imagine Trading Mookie Betts bit. Turns out Mookie Betts is an anti-Semitic asshole. So let's cool it with the imagine trading Mookie Betts bit. So Mookie Betts, who has said and done a number of questionable things in the past. This is not a totally isolated incident. You may recall that Mookie Betts once said that he had nothing but good things to say about his good friend and teammate Trevor Bauer. You may recall, more recently, that Mookie Betts was one of a great many members of the Los Angeles Dodgers to be all smiles and handshakes when the Dodgers visited the White House and President Donald Trump. Last week, Mookie Betts went on a video podcast with a dude by the name of Aiden Ross, who, if you've never heard of him, turn off the episode. You're only going to make your life worse. TLDR, Aiden Ross is one of the right-wing shitbagosphere's right-wing shitbags, and he's also Jewish. And Aiden Ross is the kind of Jewish person who hosts a right-wing talk show where people come on and make fun of Jewish people. And Mookie Betts did that. So, yeah, we're gonna cool it with the, hey, the Boston Red Sox, maybe you shouldn't have traded Mookie Betts. And listen, he's not a uniquely horrible shitbag or nothing. He's not an absolute blood murderous criminal type person. But maybe we're going to cool it with the, hey, the Boston Red Sox, maybe you shouldn't have traded generational talent, future Hall of Fame baseball player Mookie Betts for a bucket of nothing. It still remains true that the Boston Red Sox shouldn't have traded generational talent and future Hall of Famer Mookie Betts for a whole bucket of nothing. But we don't necessarily feel like needling them about them at every given opportunity. Anyway, a Minnesota Twin who played the outfield as Josh Willingham has a factual statement. A Pittsburgh Pirate who played the outfield is Starling Marte. Everybody remembers Starling Marte. Dude who played for the Red Sox and the Phillies is Matt Stairs. Dude who played for the Phillies and Twins is James Howard Thom, because we're not going entirely deep cuts today. Dude who played for the Twins and Guardians is, I'm pretty sure Justin Masterson was a Twin, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Well, balls. Dude who played for the Red Sox and Guardians is also Justin Masterson, so I should have just done that. But no. Dude who played for the Red Sox and Guardians, I think is also Manny Del Carmen. I feel like Manny Del Carmen, No, I think he was a Marlin after he was with the Red Sox. I think he caught on with the Marlins, and then that was the end of his career. Manny Del Carmen, good little middle reliever. I liked Manny Del Carmen a lot. He was even good sometimes. Dude who played for the Pirates and Guardians is was Kenny Lofton. I think he was a Pirate, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm right. Hooray. And I still have a guess. I thought I had... Hold on, how did I fucked up twice and I have 7 squares. How do I still have a guess? Did I only fuck up once? I thought I fucked up twice. Huh. Alright. A dude who played for the Twins and the Guardians is, Paul Sorrento? I don't think Paul Sorrento was a Twin. Kenny Puckett wasn't a Guardian. James Howard Thom is a guy who played for the Twins and the Guardians. That's a true factual statement. However, we've already used him. So, Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon was a Twin. There you go. Bartolo Colon, you were a Twin, and now you're a square on this not quite immaculate grid. Sadness and failure. Show me the summary. No thanks. Tell me a dude who played for the Pirates and Phillies. Is it Mickey Morandini? Oh, it's Andrew McCutcheon. And other dudes, possibly, but probably not, including Mickey Morandini. Alas. All right. This has been an immaculate grid, except for it not being immaculate. And This has been an episode of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Folks, one more time, let me find and pull up the stream schedule. The plan is we will be back tomorrow morning for Gimmimimim, tomorrow evening for Cyberpunk, Wednesday morning for Gimmimimim, Wednesday evening for a special Christmas Eve in Hell 82 stream. And then from there, oh, by the way, we're doing a subathon New Year's weekend. I should probably mention that, given that it's, next week. Hop in the Discord server if you're not already there. Tell me what I should do and play and be and such. And yeah, here comes the end screen. Thank you all so very much for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.